Okay. All right, we're going to talk about how to set up a base texture and how to set up a PBR texture pipeline in Arnold. So this is going to be basically going from Maya, exporting out your object, importing it into Substance Painter, and then importing a sbsar material into Substance. So let's go ahead and find our Substance texture. So we're going to go into Google, but Substance Share, these are free to us for us to use, so we'll go ahead and use those. What I want you guys to look at are metals, okay? Those are the most interesting. So we might get a metal and then we want to get a brick, okay? So let's take a look at both of those. So under metal, let's go ahead and click on that. All right. So under metal, I want you to find something that you think is interesting. I don't care what it is. Doesn't matter. So if you find something you like, I'm going to do like metal scratches. That looks fun. You do what you want. So when you click on it, you can go in here and do a download. Okay. Now, may want you to log in first, right, before you download. So what? Whichever. Whatever works for you. I'm going to do something really kind of basic and download that. And I'll show you how to use these things in Painter. Okay. So I got these. I'm going to go Show in Finder, and then I can click on these two guys. Okay. I can copy these and put them on my desktop. I can go ahead and close Substance Share. I'll keep it open on this side. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste these guys over here. Okay, I'm going to open these up. Right click on them, go to Open with Windows. And you can see there's my metal. Now it's got couple things in here. It's kind of cool. So the only thing I really need though is the sbsar. That's this one right here. It's got a little green triangle, side triangle to the side. And I'm going to copy this and paste it. Alright, and it's called metal. And the other one is a designer, as for Substance Designer. If you want to fiddle with that later, you can, but that's a different program. Okay, so we're just looking for the green. Alright, now let's go to the other one, my brick. Alright, so open that up, copy that one. Okay, that also has a Substance Designer. I'm going to paste that. That's the red, but we need the green. Okay, so I'm going to pull that over here like that. So that's what we need to do so far. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we need to have an object to place onto the material on. So we need to have something. So click on your floor. It doesn't mean, the only thing you have to remember is that your object that you send to Substance Painter has to have a UV map. Does this have a UV map? Probably. So I'm going to look at it. And there it is. You have to have a UV map, and a flat plane usually is pretty standard. So if you just created it as a primitive, then the UVs are laid out for you. Okay. So let's go ahead and send that out. So select it, make sure you're in object mode, and go to Export Selection and export it out. We wanted to export it out as an OBJ, and so we need to scroll down until we find it. OBJ export. When we do that, then we can go in here to Export Selection. Okay? I don't care where you put this. Let's make sure you put it in so you can find it. So we're just going to go in here. We'll call this ground plane. Okay? All right. And this will be 0, 1. Now, actually, I'm going to call it something like metal. Then we're going to put the metal on this one. So ground plane metal. Okay. Now it remembers the name. Okay. So if you export, it's going to be ground plane metal, and then it's going to put diffuse next to it. It's going to put metalness next to it. It's going to put all the other maps. So we need to name it appropriately. So I'm going to do that one. Okay. Now I want to do one for the brick. So I'm going to click on the object again, go to File, Export Selection, okay? I'm going to go in here and it's already set up for OBJ, and then we'll save it at, and this time we're going to do brick. We're going to call that ground plane brick. Okay, cool. And then export that out. All right, now we're set. Now we're ready. So now we've got to fire up the Substance Painter. It is this round circle with the S with the 3 dots around it. Okay. And it's going to give you a TDR issue. Basically, that means it's seeing this as a GTX 980 GPU, and basically it's telling us, well, if you do this, if you don't go and make changes to the TDR values, then you might crash. Well, I'll take that chance. We're going to continue anyway. Okay, so you can see that Substance Painter already has textures in here, right? So you could easily have picked something from here. But I wanted to show you how to bring something in, okay, and apply it. Okay, so one of the things I need to kind of take you through is you're gonna see the material here on the object, and you're also going to see how the object looks laid out. So these are the 2 screens you're going to see. Down here are the materials, and you can look around on those. Over here, this is our kind of our layers set, okay? So you can see we got layers and texture settings here, and we got properties here. So they might be over here too as well if you can't find them. Okay. All right. So anyway, are we ready? If you need to reset your UI, you can do it under Window Reset UI. Okay. But we're going to go to File, New, and basically we're going to import our texture. What is our template going to be? It's going to be called PBR Metal Rough. Okay, we have to set up our template first. Now, once you set this up, you're good to go. So, PBR Metal Rough. Okay, and this is for gaming. Create a texture set for UDIM tile. Basically, it uses the vertex. Where the vertices are located. We're not going to need that. Document resolution, we want to go full 4096. You can always down res, okay? It's really important that we don't do that right now. We want to keep it at the highest possible resolution. And if you don't want to use 4096, you go into Photoshop and you down res to 2048. Normal map format, you know, you could go OpenGL or DirectX. Let's just do DirectX, okay? Do we want to open up our file? Sure, we want that object. We need to have something. So I want you to find your file, and it's not going to find it for you. You have to find it on your computer. So go to your file, okay, wherever that may be, wherever you've saved it. And you can see this is, we're going to do the metal one first. So I'm going to open that up, okay? So we're pretty much all done. All we need to do is click on OK, and then that brings in your plane, okay? Now, you're not going to see it right away, okay? It's going to turn it kind of, I don't know, pink for some reason. All right. And we are going to open up a texture, okay? And I've had some problems with pink before, and I don't know what the deal is, but we might have to stop. But it's a graphics card issue, so we might have to stop this. But we'll try it. We'll see what happens. So we're going to go to Import Resources. So in here, where we have materials, we see where the shelf is at the bottom, where you see Input. Okay, Import Resources. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go ahead and add the resources that we want. So I'm going to go to my desktop. That's where I put them. And you can see the ground brick paving stone. I'm also going to hold down the Control key and click on the metal. So I'm going to click on those two and then open. Okay, so the metal, it wasn't sure what it was. Okay, it's still trying to figure that out. It's undefined. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's defined as a base material. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for this one too as well. Okay, Now we may have some, because somebody else has actually created this. I have not tested this. I have no idea if this is going to pull in or not. We'll find out here pretty soon whether it's going to work or not. Okay. Okay, so where are we gonna put these? Okay, so we're gonna click on. I really want to click on shelf too, but we're gonna do current session, and then import, and that should bring those two in. You can see that we've got the bricks in here, and we've got the metal. Okay, so bricks and metal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the brick. Okay, we're going to bring it up into our layer. Just bring it up into our layer. Okay, so for some reason, I don't know why it's pink. I've got some issues here with that. Let me look and see what's happening here with my lighting. And this has happened before, and I'm not sure. There it is. So there's my base color. And we got our height. And we've got our roughness, and we've got our metallic. Okay, so you can see black basically is it tells the channel or whatever it's using that it cannot see that particular doesn't see it as a metal surface, so that's good. So go back to base color. Now if I go back to lighting, for some reason it does that. If I go back to material. But if we go back to base color, we can see what we're doing here. All right, so this is our material. It's all set up and ready to go. The only thing we want to do is set up the scale. So you can see under properties, you can see the paving stone is right there. You can see the scale. So if I want to go in here and change the scale to a smaller scale, something like 2, and I can type that in 2. You can also click on rotation. That will rotate the actual material too as well. You can offset it. There's not a whole lot you're going to do. Basically what I want to do is I want to save this out as a base material. I'm not going to paint on. I'm not going to add any grunge or anything like that to it. And we're just touching this the surface of paint or what it can do. But I wanted to show you how to apply the PBR and how to export it out. So with everything done, we also have attributes in here, and you can look through everything. We've got the rotation values, we've got the properties and the attributes. There are some attributes. We've got the normal map intensity, the height range, and the height level. That can be changed. There really isn't too much in here except for that. There are some metals that are more extravagant, that have a lot more attributes that you can play with, but this one just has the height. And I'm okay with what's happening with the normal map intensity. If it's at 0, you will get nothing, so you want to keep it up, turned up. So 0.5 is fine, and that looks good. So let's go ahead and save our texture out. So if we like what we see, then we're going to go in here, and you can see in here our texture map, okay, what it looks like. Okay, so now we're going to go into File, and we're going to go to Export Textures. Okay, in Export Textures, we're going to go into, we want to tell it what the configuration is going to be. Okay, so let's click on that first, Configuration. Let's go into, let's see here, configuration. We got 8 bits, 4096, and we need it to be PBR metal rough. So we're going to kind of use our middle mouse button to slide around. And I want PBR metal